Will and I have been talking about this whole thing of a follow-up, if you will. A few days ago, I did that whole thing of the outline of ISO 222 and the concept of 1 million TPS, but there's a catch. The catch, of course, is you have to have a BIS partnership directly with the Bank for International Settlements. But Will wanted to expand a little bit further, and myself, in regards to the concept of BTC being able to, be sent instantaneous, which sounds nuts, for a instant payment with real-time gross settlements, but through what? Like a smart contract. What kind of smart contract? ISO 222. So we're going to get more into this. This is a update, if you will, and get some perspective from Will, because I was talking earlier, he had a great, way of explaining things as he usually does. So all we ask is that you smash that like if you haven't done so already. And if anything, check out the Decent Wallet commercial is coming up here just for a brief moment. It helps benefit both the channels, and then we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Here we go.
Uncompromising security. Embrace peace of mind through our certified secure chip and advanced fingerprint technology, ensuring your private keys safety with encryption and offline storage. Designed for one-hand use. Look at this. Fuel your portfolio. Boost your cryptocurrency strategies using our in-app investment tools, carefully designed to help you manage your portfolio effortlessly. Again, having owned at least 5 different wallets, I highly suggest this one. This is my favorite. You can pick you one up today using the link in the description or the link that's above my head.
Welcome back. So, Will, check this out. We've got it up on your guys' screen, and we'll go ahead and full screen this. It says, plain as day, does BTC have smart contracts for cross-border payments for real-time gross settlements? Answer states, while Bitcoin, BTC, does have a basic smart contract functionality built into its protocol, it is not considered robust enough for complex cross-border payments with features like real-time gross settlement, RTGS, due to limitations in its scripting language. For more advanced smart contract capabilities, most developers would look to other blockchain platforms like Ethereum, which offer great flexibility for building sophisticated cross-border payments. And of course, some of this includes what you see, but bottom line is every mention is layer 2s. As we know, Xinfin XDC is that layer 1, and of course it's ISO 222 compliant. So my thing is this, as of right now with the research, and you guys are welcome to check out that video. It'll be at the very end of this video in a card that will take you to that video. But I did a deep dive about the whole thing of Xinfin. Apparently, the XDC was the only one chosen to get this done in regards to ISO 222 with BTC. And as we know, BTC is only 2 to 7 TPS, but to do a cross-border payment for real-time gross settlements, but instant payment, at the end of the day, that's what Bitcoin was originally supposed to be part of, a peer-to-peer cash system. Let's face it, for instant payments, and people are like, yep, that's where XRP and XLM, XDC, all these other ones shine. But Will, you have some things you want to get into in regards to smart contract functionalities.
So the way that that we were, when we were talking earlier, that this function happens, so it's going to give the speed to BTC using the XDC network. Is that right?
Correct, because what's going to happen is it's going to do an ISO 222 smart contract, okay? Right. And some people say, well, then why doesn't it select everything? I think you mentioned that. The thing is, the reason why it selects BTC, so just everything, is because, again, they have that trust. So that's a trust layer. So with that said, to me, this creates that much more demand for, whether you're a fan of or not, BTC, because that has a problem with scalability. Outside of doing a layer 2, right? We want to keep it as a layer 1 because BTC is a layer 1. And it creates tremendous demand for XDC, since XDC, apparently, from what we gathered in the research, again, watch that video, right? it shows that XDC is the only one that would do the ISO 222 smart contract with BTC, do the instant payment, and of course for real-time gross settlements. My only answer is this. When we look here, like it says, key points about Bitcoin and smart contracts. Well, basically speaking, we know that XDC is a fork of Ethereum. All right, it's it's a better version of Ethereum. Currently speaking, I think last I saw it was 2,000 TPS. So even with that, that's significantly more. 2,000 TPS is more than 2 to 7 TPS. But like I pointed out in my other deep dive, if you have a direct partnership with the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements, you can do over 1 million TPS through a thing called the M10. But you have to be ISO 222 compliant and you have to be a direct partner. But for them to specifically mention XDC, well, that's game changer because now you're keeping it in a layer 1. And yes, I covered this before. There's things like Stacks, which is layer 2, that allows scalability for BTC. But the difference is ISO, compliancy, and the whole thing of obviously XDC. There's a lot there. So I wanted to hear more from you because you did a
Yeah.
really good job on the phone talking about this.
So what it sounds like is BTC gets wrapped by XDC through a smart contract, and then it's using the Xinfin network to blister that at 2,000 TPS cross border and giving it ISO 20022 compliance. Well, that could be a game changer because it leads to the question of, can anything be wrapped with a contract and sent through XDC and be given ISO compliance for communication of payments? Could any coin do that? Which is, I mean, what kind of value would be added if XDC became a method, a tool, or a whatever you want to call it, to create the function of being able to act as a bridge for all coins to be ISO compliant through that mechanism? I mean, that's a good question.
It is a good question. And the other thing is, the whole concept of XDC really has, when we talk about bridge currencies, they have R3 quarter bridge. They have obviously this thing with quant with if you go to Overledger documentation, it constantly references XDC. And so you can use settlement, for example, QNT to settle with XDC. All right, well, BTC, it makes, you're right, a wrap version. So hold that thought real quick, Will, and we'll jump back to what you were mentioning in regards to your explanation. I want to give you guys an example. This gentleman did this about 2 years ago. I think it was like March of 2023 when ISO 222 went live. But again, there's a difference between going live and things being, fully rolled out or mandates, right? It's again, kind of like the rooms that we're in, right? Will has a huge house, awesome house, by the way, right? There's rooms where, the light's on, but there's nobody in the room, right? Well, that means it's just the lights turn on, but there's, no one's really utilizing the room. Same here. I look at it from the perspective, just because ISO 222 is live, that is not necessarily utility put into motion. It's just saying like any place, right? You go to a huge high-rise office building in New York, right? Let's use Empire State Building, for example. When things are first built, there might be, 20 plus floors, they're just vacant, but the lights on,
It'd be
right?
kind of like having the president of the United States that didn't have mental faculty. The lights were on, but nobody's home.
Like somebody we know. All right. All right. I don't want to make it political, but
Sorry.
anyway,
Little jab.
right? I hear you. Listen, we're going to jump into this example because I think some of you guys have seen this, but a lot of you guys are new. So is Will right in regards to the wrapped version of BTC? And of course, so the whole thing of, connected to XDC. Would XDC be used as collateral through ISO 222? Well, for me, the answer is yes, but let's just show this. This guy did an excellent example of this. So we're going to go ahead and share this, and then we'll jump back right here within a minute. Here we go.
Official rollout of the ISO 20022 standard starts tomorrow. So what does that mean? Well, if you want to understand it better, you can go over to impel.global and send your own ISO compliant message, just like this. Click the drop down and then click on our offerings and the link for self-paced ISO 20022 demo. You fill out your first name, your last name, your email, and if you represent a bank. They send you this link. You click the link. You fill out all this information right here, which we'll skip through. You can attach collateral to the message. I chose XDC as my settlement. Then you can check on the status of your request from the drop down at the top. Here's a list of the demo transactions. Hopefully that's helpful for those of you who hear ISO this, ISO that, and don't know what to make of it. And no, there are no coins that are ISO compliant, but you can enclose digital assets in the financial message. Like and follow for more.
Okay.
Well, that was before there was some ISO compliant coins.
Right. So here's the thing. By the way, guys, always support these people, right? Utility Moon is him, terrific content creator. But he put that out, March 2023, so almost 2 years ago. The bottom line is this: this is aging well because even when we freeze the frame, let's go back for a second. Let me go ahead and just pull it back.
You can go over to Impact.
So where I want to point some of this out, let me mute this because I just want to freeze the frame. It's catching some of these key things. So as we go further into it, he basically verifies what Will's talking about. Okay, so there's the whole thing of IBAN. There it is. There it literally is. All right, frozen frame. As we see, I'm gonna full screen this real quick, Will. It says a wrapped version of BTC. You see the orchestration through XDC, and then later on, he goes into the whole thing of right here. Let's freeze the frame. Instant settlement with message. So, I mean, to me, this pounds home the whole concept of BTC. So that's the trust layer. So where we're leaving this with you guys is this. And again, I want to hear more from Will. I apologize. And that is, there's some unanswered questions. Will, you were saying, by all means, elaborate on this. You were saying, well, if this is the case, yeah, they pick BTC because that's the trust layer, and we get that, like institutions already gone with it and so on. Freaking slow tech, right? The most expensive meme token out there, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I think it's a fair analogy. But yeah, is Will right? Like, do you feel as though this would technically work with everything? So, yeah,
it's a good question. We're going to have to research and find out if that means any coin, because if so, the value added to XDC just shot to the moon. If XDC is the one approved to do this, I don't know that this is a broad thing that anybody could do. We know that XDC was chosen and is set up to do this, that actually can use BTC for cross-border now. It uses the ISO compliance and gives it the speed, 2000, or if it uses the M10 that gives it 1 million TPS.
Correct. You have to have that direct partnership with the BIS, and XDC definitely does. With the research, we've shown that.
Yeah. So the possibility there is BTC, love it or hate it. I mean, it's a part of it's a part of the crypto world. But I mean, God opens up the idea. Let's get goofy for a second. Could I get Shiba Inu, and wrap it in a contract, and with XDC, send it, and it be ISO compliant and be formed as a payment? If so, what's the implications to some of the choices Elon Musk might make for X.com, right? I mean, if that was possible, if I just try to make up a scenario, if he wanted to use something for X.com and wanted to be able to broaden its horizon, if this capability is able to do what we're suggesting or the question we're asking, the implications are like, wow, for all coins and the whole community, it would be wow. It would come down to, It's kind of like I saw the BIS offering XRP as one of the solutions, saying people would be able to choose. But XRP is the cheapest and fastest solution of all the solutions they're offering with instant settlement. And I heard the suggestion be like, well, if they want instant settlement, they might choose Ripple, XRP. Well, of course they want instant settlement. Who wants to wait around? So it's almost like that. If XDC is given that, is anointed to be that chosen vessel to make them all compliant, golly, that would be wild. So it's a good question. And we were going to ask too, if any of you guys have an answer for that. Here's the question. Can any coin, maybe layer 1 or whatever, layer 2, whatever, or maybe any coin, what coins can be wrapped with a smart contract and then delivered with XDC, making it ISO compliant and do a cross-border transaction? That's the question. What coins are available for that to happen to? We know BTC is, because we just looked at it. We just read about it. But does that mean anything can be wrapped?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we do know off the top, at least I know on the top of my head, that is, there's things that are wrapped clearly. Like, you have wrapped Bitcoin, which is a peg of the original Bitcoin. You have wrapped Ethereum. There's numerous examples of, wrapped coins and tokens, but, the emphasis should still be, we're talking ISO 222, the compliancy. So if this is the case, and with what Will is mentioning, yeah, that would drive the demand of XDC fears. And some people say, well, no, it's not. Are you sure about that? Here's the difference. It would drive up the demand because, as we know, there's deadlines coming up. For one, MiCA regulations, right, which is January 9th. So then on top of that, some of the, go into the integration phase of MiCA. Then the mandate, obviously the big enchilada, in my opinion, is ISO 222 mandate, even with the whole thing of ending coexistence period of Swift with MT and ISO 222. ISO 222 would be that mandate, the big player, if you will. So here's the example in regards to collateralization, but BTC, and as we saw just on a basic search, there is no existing real-time gross settlement layer 1 that is going to provide this. Yes, there's the layer 2s, but again, BTC was not designed, or say BTC, Bitcoin was not designed to be like that. Everything Bitcoin related was designed to be all within its own ledger, contained with that, and not third-partying out. Now, some people will have point out, well, Max, if that's the case, you are third-partying out. Well, yeah, but through what? An ISO 222 standardized messaging. Isn't that the whole point? To get on the rails of this big stuff with compliancy that's connected to real regulations, MiCA, and having access to those banks. So we already know the institutions have already chosen, whether you're a fan of it or not, like BTC, like you already have BlackRock that owns a lot of it, MicroStrategy, the huge grocery list, right? But this changes it because, again, once those mandates go into place, I think this is going to be the one most slept on ones is XDC. And what's a reference? This guy quotes the whole thing of this collateral message. So that was, I think I know the exact date, March 20th, 2023. So everybody before that date came out was saying XRP, XLM, and there's no bash on them. We own plenty of that, right? We're bullish on that. But the one that got sent on that date, because, buy the rumor, sell the news, was buy the rumor, sell the news. The one that got sent was XDC. It went up 70%. XRP and XLM didn't do that. So, good Lord. If BTC is still going to do its thing and keep going up, well, this has to be the driver force. This sets XDC apart from everything in that regard.
So we'll do a follow-up video then. We'll research this a little more, use the same title and put update, I guess. and see if we can't get a definite answer. And if any of you guys have a definite answer, please provide a link also where we can see the backup. Don't just tell us, without any, kind of a citation to where the information came from, because we want a good solid answer to be able to provide. Does that sound good, Max?
That sounds great to me. Hey guys, listen, if you appreciate the content, simply like, comment, and subscribe to both myself and the one and only Will Fix. And do us a favor if you listen to the entire outline and type in this keyword into the comments, and that is Go Will Fix. And we'll know that you listen to the entire outline. We really appreciate it. Yes,
also,
go ahead.
we may be able to have a guest appearance that works for XDC. I haven't been able to nail down a date, but I've already got Quincy Jones where he's like, yeah, man, I'll do a show with you. And so hopefully we're going to get Quincy Jones on this and be able to have, that kind of an answer. But meanwhile, let us know if you got an answer.
Absolutely. That'd be great. Looking forward to doing that with one and only Quincy Jones. He's awesome. We won't keep you guys any further. Saying goes, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD, 110%. We'll see you on the next one.